Hey, all you people, and welcome in to a short, like three-ish episode series that I'm going to do. This was a thing that a ton of people did like 6 months ago and like 4 months ago. I really wanted to do it. I recorded it, but I didn't like the way it turned out, and so I never ended up posting it. I never got the chance to like re-record it. So we're going to re-record it. The way we're going to do it is that we're going to be splitting it. So we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing Gen 1 next time, or Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. Then we'll be doing 4, 5, 6. Then we'll be doing 7, 8, 9 plus like the champions or whatever. So I hope you enjoy. I love Pokemon. There's a lot of channel branding around Pokemon, despite the very minimum amount of Pokemon I do on this channel. Like, these two have been down here basically the whole time I've had this channel and had this layout. So I hope you enjoy. Without further ado, we're gonna get in. Actually, I did get slightly ahead of myself there. I am going to, as much as possible, follow the rule that the starter column and the type column cannot be the same. There may be some where I choose a different one, the evolutionary line, but I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible. There are some regions where I don't like anything else besides the starter of that type. So please don't get mad at me for that, but I will be making sure that none is the exact same. So now, without further ado, Gen 1 normal type. Is this a question? Is this a question? Is this a question? Is this a question? There is no question on who the answer is on this one. It's Eevee. Like, I don't need to justify this. I don't need to explain this. It's the channel branding. Like, it's going to be Eevee. Like, all right. Gen 1 Fire. We have the Charmander line. We have Vulpix, Ninetales, Growlithe, Arcanine, Ponyta, Rapidash, Magmar, Flareon, Moltres. Again, I swear not every evolution is my favorite. A lot of them are going to be, though. A lot of them are going to be evolutions. So I am sorry that it's going to be another evolution to start us out, but it's Flareon. Water type. Okay, now listen, hear me out for a minute. No. It's not going to be Vaporeon. The first ever Pokemon I ever had was a Squirtle. And to this day, I still will most of the time take a Squirtle over a Charmander or a Bulbasaur. So it is going to be Squirtle, even though Lord Helix down here is close by, as is Vaporeon, but it's Squirtle. Squirtle, absolute. Oh wait, I won't put Squirtle in the starter though, because that's like my first ever starter. So we're putting Lord Helix. Lord Helix is going in there, and we'll fill in Squirtle over here. Oh, I guess I could have saved Eevee for starter. Oh well, Squirtle's going in starter because it was my first ever starter. So Grass. Who is my favorite grass type in Gen 1? Is it? I did this a couple months ago, but I haven't really thought about it since. There's a YouTube channel I watch that like scientifically figured out that Paris is the like most underappreciated Pokemon. The channel is Super Carlin Brothers. Sorry, I didn't mean to like make it sound like I wasn't going to say it. They figured out that Paris is like the most underappreciated Pokemon, and for that reason, I think I am picking Paris for my favorite grass type in Gen 1. Electric for Gen 1. There's not a lot of options, but I, I do, 3 of the 4 for Gen 1 have been Eevee based. I don't know how I feel about that, but it is accurate, so I'm not going to like change it because it is true. Like I'm not. It's not like I'm going to sit here and lie. Like Ice. There's not many ice types in Gen 1. I will say, I do have a soft spot for Articuno just because he was always the only bird I could find as a kid. Like I could always find Articuno easily. I didn't know I had to go back to go to a power plant to get Zapdos. I didn't. What even is Moltres? I don't even remember where Moltres is. Is he on the islands, like the first, second, third, whatever island? Maybe? I don't know. Either way, Articuno's getting my ice. Fighting. I'm thinking about it. I think of favorite Pokemon and like favorite fighting type isn't something I think of a lot. But I think for Gen 1 it's going to go to Poliwrath. I don't know why. I really like the Poly line. I think they're good. It's a good line. Uh, Poison. There is there is a lot more poison types in Gen 1 that it feels like there has any right to be. Hmm. I could go with the ATV. Could go with that. But I already did make a Lord Helix joke, so maybe not. Gengar feels like if I go over here, it's only their line, so I'm not going to pick them for poison. And also, either way, they are in my mind they are ghost types. They're not poison types. I think, honestly, my favorite Gen 1 poison type. I think it's gonna be Gloom. I like that derpy face. I think it looks really it's just derpy. It's I don't know. I can't justify it more than it's derpy, and I like its derp. Ground type. Hmm. Another one where nothing really sticks out too much. Like I could go with one of the Nidos. I I have in the past had Nidokings. I just evolved super early because like they're the Stone Evo or whatever. Yeah. So it could be the Nidos, but it could also just be Cubone. I think it has to be Cubone just based on the lore of Cubone. I feel like that's understandable to do. Anyway, flying type. I this is the same issue as Gengar. Like he's a dragon. Dragonite's a dragon. He's not a flying type. He's a dragon. And like in my mind, Charizard is not a flying type. Butterfree is not a flying type. Uh, Zubat, Golbat, they're flying types. Farfetch'd is. They're flying types. Scyther's a bug type. Gyarados is a water type. Aerodactyls, honestly, I think of Aerodactyl more as rock than I do as flying. Than the bird, and then they're birds. Like, nothing stands out all that much to me. But I think it is going to be Pidgeotto. I like the look of Pidgeotto far more than I like the look of Pidgeot. I can't really justify it more than just a feeling. My original favorite Pokemon was Mew. When I watched the first movie as a kid, I loved Mew. So Mew is obviously my favorite psychic type for Gen 1. Um, Bug. Favorite bug. I already did Paris over here, which like I guess I think I do think of Paris more as a bug type than a grass type, but I'm keeping him over there. And we are going to put the ATV into the favorite bug type. The all-terrain Venomoth. Favorite rock type. I could have also put Lord Helix. I think of him as water over rock though first. But Gen 1 rock, I am going to put Aerodactyl. I said I think of Aerodactyl as a rock more than a flying type, even though I know it's the flying type is the far more important typing on the Aerodactyl. It feels like whenever you're in a battle, but Ghost, it's one line. It's Gengar. Like it's gonna be the final in that line. Same with Dragonite. Actually, no, I like Dragonair more than I like Dragonite. I went too quickly on that. I do like the look of Dragonair more than Dragonite. It's like this really cool like a worm. I think that's the term for WYRM. But then it just becomes Fat Dragon, and I'd prefer it to just stay Dragonair worm style. Ah, so they don't have a dark type. They didn't have dark type in Gen 1. So they put all the other whatchamacallits in here. I am just going to do the ghost effectively, just because I don't really have a memory of any of the other ones happening to me. I'm too young for that. So we're just going to do the normal ghost. Steel, it's Magnemite or Magneton. I'm going to go Magneton. I think I prefer Magneton over Magnemite. Fairy. Okay, so I grew up with Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. So Guildmaster Wigglytuff is going to be my favorite fairy type from Gen 1. I do like Wigglytuff a lot, just fully because of the Guildmaster. Gimmick form. Oh, there's a lot of gimmick forms. Gigantamax Eevee, I forgot about that. I forgot that Kingler got a G-Max form. Like, it's to me, it just didn't make any sense to give it a G-Max form. I think off of this list, though, this was the first one I got. Was a Mega Charizard X, because that's what I had. And honestly, I liked my Mega Charizard X. I really liked it, and yeah, we're keeping it there. Oh, okay, we're gonna move Mew over there. We are going to put Slowpoke into the Psychic Column, and we're gonna put Mew over here in Legend. I do like Slowpoke too. I think I like the derp. If you cannot tell by the Gloom and Slowpoke picks, the derp is very appealing in my favorite Pokemon choices. Now, what is our favorite? Is this really a question for us to be asking again? It's not. It's Eevee. Eevee is my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, and that is fairly obvious, I think. Now we're on to Gen 2. There's going to be a lot of shocking picks in this generation. Just brace yourselves. I always forget Apom to me is a Gen 4 Pokemon. He is not Gen 2. I know he is Gen 2. But it throws me off every time. But I think it's still going to be Apom, because I actually do really like Apom. It's one of those, like, not, like, common Pokemon that I think of all the time when I think, yeah, I like that. But, like, if I'm looking at this list especially, Apom is absolutely taking the cake. And, like, if I looked at a list of normal types, I think Apom will be up there normally anyway. Ooh. Okay. Favorite fire type. I'm debating between Quilava and Typhlosion. I think it is going to be Quilava. Yeah, it's going to be Quilava. I do really like Quilava. I like it as the mill stage. I think it's a really cool mill stage. Oh, I could go Wooper for favorite water type. I really could. Like, Wooper is a very high up there for me. But it is going to Politoed. I really like the Poly line. I think it's a really good line. I don't know, competitively, I'm not very competitive when I play Pokemon. I don't try to be. I just like building the team I want to play with, quite frankly. So yeah, Politoed is taking the favorite water type. Favorite grass type. See, this produces a minor issue for me. Because if we go over here, I am putting Bayleaf as my favorite starter. I love Bayleaf. I genuinely love Bayleaf. I love the design. I like the personality or whatever behind it. I love Bayleaf. So favorite grass type, we are going to do Chikorita. Again, this is why I said I may put stuff in the other lines, other places in the line because of stuff like this happening. Because I love the first two. Meganium I less of a fan of, but the first two I absolutely adore. So I'm putting Chikorita and Bayleaf as the two. Ampharos is also one of my favorite Pokemon. Oh, like, I've said a lot of Pokemon my favorite Pokemon, but like, I absolutely love Ampharos. I always name my Ampharos Amp. Ampharos, I love having on my team. I love playing with Ampharos, and it's such a great. It's like it's strong and adorable, and that's like the two features I look for in the Pokemon when I build my team. Favorite ice type. Sneasel's another one I forget is Gen 2 all the time. But I think it's going to be Mr. Santa himself, Mr. Delibird. He's like he's I've never considered Delibird a good Pokemon, but he's likable, and that's why he's going here. Favorite fighting? Honestly, when like none of these three are to me like Heracross. I think of as a bug type. I don't think of Heracross as a fighting type. I don't think of Heracross as a fighting type ever. I know it is. I don't think of it as one. I don't have any strong connections to any of these three, but I do know when I was a kid I had a Hitmontop top toy. Like, it was literally a Beyblade, but was shaped like Hitmontop, effectively. So Hitmontop is getting my favorite fighting type. Poison, Quillfish is... There's a lot of Pokemon that are in Gen 2 that I forget are in Gen 2. Quillfish is another one of them that, like, feels like... like, to me, Quillfish is a Gen 5 Pokemon. Like, it is not a Gen 2 Pokemon. And, yeah. Either way, favorite poison type for Gen 2 is going to be Crobat. Like, I don't know if I have to justify a Crobat. Like, it's cool. It's a one of the, like, early friendship evolutions. That was actually a really cool one that they put in for the most annoying Gen 1 Pokemon. So, we're having a Crobat. Ground type. Okay. This is where Wooper's going. Wooper does get a spot on this list somewhere. I was not going to go through this list without Wooper being on here. I love Wooper. I don't know if that's influenced by online personalities, but I do like Wooper. Flying. Hold on, I am looking over here first. Okay. Flying. I'm trying to think. I don't know how many of these I'm actually, like, the biggest fan of. Like, I may do Xatu for Blue Rescue Team and how he is, like, involved in Blue Rescue Team. I like the, like, mysterious future teller in Blue Rescue Team. Red and Blue Rescue, both of them. They're the same game. Psychic type. Is this a question? This is not a question. It's gonna be an Espeon. Bug. Yeah, Shuckle. That solely for that reference, I'm not going to elaborate. Just that reference is why Shuckle is my favorite bug type. Rock. Yeah, Shuckle. No, I'm not doing that again. I know a lot of people like T-Tar. I don't dislike T-Tar, and T-Tar is going to get my spot here. But I do think that there are a lot more Pokemon that I like more than T-Tar. But he is going to get the spot just because I'm not a fan. I can't put Shuckle and the rest of them I'm not the biggest fan of. Who's my favorite ghost type from Gen 2? I don't know. It's a hard decision to make. And my favorite dragon, another very hard decision to make. Yeah, I don't think there's any form of question that could be associated with this one. Like, there is no discussion to be had on what my favorite Gen 2 Dark type is. Gen 2 Steel. Now, this Skarmory is Gen 2. Skarmory is Gen 3 to me. Like, Skarmory being Gen 2 is weird. So that being said, it's going to be Fortress. I never had an attachment to any of them because, like, Skarmory was that annoying Pokemon walking up to a Fall Arbor town that I hated. Steelix I could never get because I didn't. I had friends, but like I didn't trade with them ever. They didn't play Pokemon. Same with Scizor, so I don't have any attachment to those Mons. So, and Fortress is another one of those like really derpy ones that I don't know. I just have an attachment to. Anyway, Togetic is getting my fairy type. I do like Togetic. I don't know why it's not very strong. It's not very good, but I like a Togetic. Now, I am not counting gimmick forms as the same as other forms. I am playing Mega Ampharos. I'm not counting gimmick forms as the same Pokemon over here. I should have clarified that. But my favorite legendary... Who is my favorite legendary? Am I just gonna be basic and be like, oh yeah, Suicune is the crystal box at legendary, it's gonna be Suicune, and it's gonna be Suicune. Like... Actually, I never played original Gen 2. I played Heart Gold first, and I went back and played... And I've played Crystal way too many times. But I do like Suicune a lot. I'm not grabbing the one from up there again, but I'm grabbing this one. Like, there's no competition with the GOAT. Like, nothing's being my Umbreon. We are on to the final generation of this episode. Now, I know I said Squirtle was my first ever starter. That is true. However, I was 2 years old and I have no recollection outside the fact I had a Squirtle named Buddy. That's the extent. Hoenn is my home generation. So, for Hoenn, we are going to start out with... I'm not a big fan of most of these normal types in this gen. I think it's going to be cast form, though. It's going to be cast form. I'm blurring that for safety purposes, but it's cast form. Favorite fire type. My favorite fire type is probably going to be Torkoal. I like Torkoal in the anime. I like Torkoal in general. Torkoal's cool. Torkoal is getting my favorite fire type, and I'm about to get canceled on the internet. Favorite water type. Oh. I absolutely adore Ludicolo. I love Ludicolo. It is so cute. That's probably the wrong word for it if you've watched the Detective Pikachu movie. That clip's probably less than 5 seconds. Hopefully I could put that clip in right here.
Extra shot, black as night. Thank you, sweetie.
But that is one of the best scenes in the movie. And I love Ludicolo. It's another derpy, cool mon. Okay. Boop. I adore my Trico. I adore my Trico line. They are the best starters. The Trico line is my favorite starter line in all of Pokemon. Like, not counting Eevee as a starter line because Let's Go out, no, and you can't even evolve it in that. So, the Trico line is my favorite actual, like, fire, water, grass starter line in Pokemon. So Trico is getting the grass spot. Actually, I'm giving grass spot to Sceptile and giving the starter spot to Trico. Just Trico can represent the line. Sceptile is getting the grass type. This one was different because Bayleaf specifically is my favorite, and Chikorita is there to represent the second favorite. But anyway, electric type. See, it's either you take one half of an equation or you take a Pokemon that caused me so much trouble with Watson, who was the bane of my existence. I did not like facing Watson. It was annoying, and that is why I'm going with Minun. Ice. I do like a Snorunt, but I also do like a Spheal. And a Spheal is cuter than a Snorunt, so I think I'm doing Spheal. Don't worry, Snorunt will have a spot in a future episode, maybe. Does it have another form? I don't know if it does. Maybe Snorunt in some form will be featured in a future episode. Anyway, favorite fighting type, Breloom. I think of Breloom as a grass type, but because both of these guys are here, Breloom is getting my favorite fighting type. I love me a Breloom. If I didn't use a Sceptile or a Trico line every run, Breloom would be getting a lot more playing time on my team. But I love a Breloom. Poison. See, none of these I'm a big fan of. But my favorite facility in the Battle Frontier is the Battle Pike, and so I'm giving it to Seviper. I'm not a big fan of Seviper in any real way. I just like the Battle Pike as a concept, and so it's getting the spot because of that. Favorite ground type. Am I going to be basic? I am going to be basic-ish. I'm giving it to Vibrava. I do like a Vibrava. I like the middle stage of Vibrava. I don't know if I would say I like it more than Flygon, but as a middle stage, Vibrava is probably one of the best middle stages. There is also a Grovyle, who's a great middle stage. But favorite flying type. Why is Shadow Lugia Gen 3? Is XD and Coliseum technically Gen 3? Interesting. Anyway, I think I just like Gen 3 grass types because I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have 5 grass types from Gen 3. Alright. Wait, Shadow Lugia is a. Oh, yeah, Flying Psychic. Duh. I don't know why my brain thought that was weird for a moment. I am going to go with Gen 3 Psychic. I am going with Jirachi. I like the lore of Jirachi. I don't think I've ever actually seen the Jirachi movie, but I like the lore of Jirachi. I like the look of Jirachi. Jirachi gets the Psychic, even though it has Serene Grace, Parahacks, flinching BS. Favorite bug? Oh. In my opinion, right, Anorith is criminally underrated in this generation. I don't think they're that good, but I love the look of him. He looks like the cell that you make in Spore. And that is why I love the look of him, and he's getting the bug spot. The rock spot. Maybe I give him the rock. Yeah, I'm giving Shedinja the bug and giving him the rock spot. I want to put Aggron or someone in this line in. It just underwhelms every single time. I use it most times I play a Hoenn game. And it never is good enough. Like, it feels like it should be so much stronger than it is. It's just not. And I don't get it. Anyway. Ghost type. I am going to give it to Sableye. Sableye is going to get it for being the first no weakness Pokemon. He is getting it. Yeah. Dragon. Hold on. I'm looking over here first. Okay. Yeah. I am going to give Dragon to Flygon. It is a different one than Vibrava because I did say same lines are allowed. So Flygon is getting the favorite Dragon. It's Flygon. I don't think most people can. I don't think anybody can really disagree with that. They could put Salamence probably, but people aren't going to disagree with Flygon. Okay, favorite Dark type. This is a bit of a story of I play one of the randomizers I had for Emerald. I ended up having a Cacnea as my starter. Her name was Cindy, and I always have a rule, especially when I do randomizers, I keep my starter on my team no matter what. So Cindy came with me throughout the entire game, through the Elite Four, and despite being objectively one of the weakest Pokemon, I loved my Cacturne by the end of the game. So that is staying in my favorite Dark type. Steel. Again, I am going to put Aggron for solidarity's sake of I use it a lot. I don't think it feels like it should be a lot stronger than it is, but it's still gonna get that spot. Favorite fairy, I mean, I'm gonna be called weird either way, so it's gonna be Gardevoir. Like, realistically, I don't have options here that would make me pick otherwise. Like, I've used Gardevoir on Hoenn runs a decent amount. It's a really good Mon. I can't complain. Starter. Boo. Gimmick form. Ooh. Which one is which? I can never tell them apart. The two Latios and Latias Megas. I can't tell them apart. Either way, I do like Sceptile's Mega. I do like Rayquaza's Mega. I think I am giving it to Speed Boost Blaziken Mega, just because it is a cool gimmick form, and I I make so many jokes about not liking Blaziken because everybody hammers into me that I should like Blaziken over Sceptile, which I don't, and I'm never going to, but everybody constantly like makes jokes about that. So I have made myself more anti-Blaziken than I truly probably am, so I am going to give it at least the gimmick form. Legendary, we are going to give it to Rayquaza. Emerald is the game I always go back to and play every single time. I'm going to put Rayquaza. I'm an Emerald person. Anyway, this is a question of, because like I like my Sceptile more than I like my Trico, but I just like the line as a whole. So I think Trico is going to get it as a representation of that entire line. But those are the 3 gens we are doing today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Next week we will be coming back doing the next 3. Then we'll be doing the next 3. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.